Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this Group A game. Wales winning earlier on. Italy and Switzerland taking on each other. But of course, before the action and all that important team news, we also have a co-commentator with us tonight. Let's just join in the anthems before the start of the game. And now the Italian national anthem, and listen to this. You'll never see an anthem sung as passionately as this. Listen to this. Well, you'll never see an anthem sung with a gusto as that is for sure. A great atmosphere, even though it's probably about 20,000 inside an 80,000 capacity stadium. And let me check on the two teams. Russ is alongside me, but we'll bring him in a second or two. Let's check on the two teams first, starting with Italy. They're going to play a 4-3-3. So it's Donnarumma of Milan in goal. Then it's Di Lorenzo, Bonucci and Chiellini, the two Juventus centre-backs with over 210 caps between them. And Spinazzola of Roma at the back, playing on his home ground. Then Chelsea player Jorginho is the anchor man in a three-man midfield, which includes Barella, who will play on the right-hand side of that midfield, and Manuel Locatelli, who had a terrific game against Turkey on Friday in the 3-0 win. Up front, we've got Berardi of Sassuolo. I'll try and say that quickly. Giro Immobile of Lazio, playing on his own patch, winning his 47th cap tonight, and Lorenzo Insigne, also of Napoli. Switzerland line up with Jan Sommer in goal. They're actually unchanged from the 1-1 draw with Wales. You may have heard with me and Justin Hoyt on Saturday. Jan Sommer in goal, Lafidi, Cher of Newcastle, and Akini at the back. So a back three with Wolfsberg on the flank. With Wolfsberg playing a sort of a right-hand side wing back, and Ricardo Rodriguez on the other side. He plays in Italy with Torino. Then the two centre midfielders, Granit Xhaka, the captain of Arsenal, captain who plays for Arsenal with his 95th cap, and Farina of Atalanta plays his club football here in Serie A. Then it's Xherdan Shaqiri of Liverpool as the number 10, and then Embolo, who scored on Saturday, and Savorovic, who had a great chance himself to score in those games, couldn't finish it off. He's also up front. The referee tonight comes from Russia, Sergei Kazatev. His two assistants are Igor Domenetsky and Maxime Goabin. And the fourth official is our own, very own Michael Oliver from County Durham, and the BL referees from Germany, Christian Dankert. And here we go then. It's going to be Switzerland. It's going to be Switzerland in the white. And they need 3 points, considering the Welsh have won their match in Baku today, and terrific performance despite Gareth Bale missing a penalty. It's a very humid night, and I'll tell you the conditions when I just get 5 seconds, but we're all set to go. There's Barella. I'm just seeing on camera. There is an atmosphere to beat no other here in Rome tonight. And we're just waiting now to get underway. Referee just waiting for the appointed hour. And off we go. No taking to the knee. And away we go. Switzerland in the white, attacking the goal to our left, to our right, sorry. Italy, blue shirts, dark shorts, blue stockings. Attacking to the left. The first free kick of the game goes to Switzerland. A foul there on Kevin Mbappe, who certainly caused Wales 1 or 2 problems on Saturday with good runs down the right-hand side. It was a push there by Spinazzola of Roma, playing on his own ground, of course, familiar territory for all the Italian players, of course. And, of course, the atmosphere inside the ground, even though it's not practically about maybe nearly half full, takes me back to all those years ago in Italian 90 when the Italian fans really got behind their team. Free kick came in and the ball not back in there. And the chance now for Switzerland to come forward now. And it's Shaqiri of Liverpool on the ball here. We will bring in Russ in just a second or two. We will get a break in play. In fact, the ball's going back now. And we can bring in for the first time tonight, Russ Burden. How do you think this one will go, Russ?
Good evening, JB. Good evening, everyone. I think it'll be another good game, JB. I think Italy may prove to have too strong for Switzerland than they did in the opening match against Turkey on Friday evening, and I think Italy will get another positive result tonight.
Well, here comes Switzerland now. They've started pretty well, actually, it's got to be said. And the ball threaded out towards Rodriguez on the far side, and that's off a defender and out of play for a throw-in to Switzerland on the far side, about halfway inside the Italian half here. And I will give you the Olympic Stadium in Rome, always an atmospheric venue. Of course, had a roof put on. Of course, up until 1990, they played the matches without a roof, and then they renovated the stadium for Italian 90, and it still looks spectacular, even all those years on, 35 years or more on. Here's a chance now for Italy. They're coming forward, and the ball was cutting in from the left, and it was Berardi making the break. 2 minutes gone here in this game in Rome, here on the commentary hub in association with JB Sports and all other media platforms. You can hear us on Twitter and Periscope as well. Here's a chance now for Sepovic now inside the penalty area, but Chiellini, all those years of experience, all those 108 caps behind him, and he did superbly well. Avedi now plays the ball in there towards Filia, and now Granit Xhaka, who's got a blonde mop of hair on top of his head. Usually has darker hair when he plays for Arsenal, but the pass over is not a good one. There's the coach, Vladimir Petkovic, 58 years old, former Lazio manager, so he knows the Stadio Olimpico like the back of his hand. And what a moment for him going back to Lazio. Of course, 2 of the starting 11 for Switzerland played their club football in Italy. Rodriguez and Frilia played for Torino and Atalanta, respectively. And here comes Switzerland once again. We will bring Russ in as soon as we can, but we've had such a frenetic start here. Both teams on the attack straight away. This could potentially be a very good game and plenty of goals with it. And we will bring you comments as we go along here tonight on the commentary hub. The ball played in and it's knocked away once more. But I have to say, that looked a free kick there, but the referee from Russia, Karazayev, lets it go, and the ball back to Jan Sommer. Early thoughts, Russ, a good positive start from the Swiss.
It is, JB. Fantastic start from the Swiss this evening. They knocking the ball around very, very well and keeping hold of possession quite well. Trying to cause Italy a few problems down the Italian right there, left-hand side. We're just being forced back at the moment, but Italy have had some good chances as well, and some good possession, not to forget about that, JB.
Absolutely, and well, it's going to be a tough old task for Switzerland as Italy win a free kick 15 yards inside the Swiss half. Of course, they're unbeaten in a whopping 29 matches, and I don't think any Italian team in history, even World Cup winning sides, have gone that many games unbeaten. And of course, we've won their last 9 in keeping involved with all the good records and the good habits that Mancini has got them doing. He's kept 9 clean sheets in the balance, so they've got back to their old devastating best, not just in defence, where they've got bags of experience, over 200 caps between the 2 Juventus defenders, Bonucci and Chiellini, but also in attack they do look superb, and I thought Immobile led the line superbly well on opening night as well, and we'll get Russ's assessment on that Italian performance in just a second. 5 minutes gone here at the Stadio Olimpico in Group A. Remember, Wales winning 2-0 against Turkey. Gareth Bale involved in most of it. As the ball is chipped in there, a real chance now for Italy. As the ball was spreading towards Immobile, but Jan Sommer claiming the ball, and a little bit of respite for the Swiss.
Yes, good bowling again, JB, and he was appealing for a penalty there. Italy, nothing in that for me, but Italy, like I said a few moments ago, JB, have started well as the Swiss. Good end-to-end game so far that we've got.
Yeah, that looks offside against Immobile as the ball was played. He didn't touch the ball as it went through, skidding through to Jan Sommer in the goal. He plays his good football, incidentally, in Germany for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Try and say that quickly, Russ.
Borussia Mönchengladbach.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one, Russ, as Chiellini fights with Savorovic of Benfica on the far side. The ball out of play for a throw. Just to bring you the weather reports, we're in the studio tonight, not actually in the stadium. There's Roberto Mancini, now 56 years old. Well, it's 25 degrees. It's a cloudy night in Italy, but no chance of rain. I'm getting my Michael Fish hat on here. The humidity for 9 o'clock Rome time is 69%, and the wind is only 7 kilometers an hour. But I can promise you guys, unlike Michael Fish, I don't think there's an hurricane coming in Rome tonight. If there is, blame me. I don't think Russ took to that joke too well. But anyway, here we are, 0-0 here in as the ball is knocked into the penalty area and it's behind for a goal kick. Early thoughts on the game so far, Russ?
Yes, both teams are trying to create a lot of chances. Both teams having a lot of possession, but neither goalkeeper yet to make a save. Is a good end-to-end start so far. I think we're going to see a few goals in this one, JB. Hopefully, I'm not just put a jinx on that now.
Yes, we don't want, honestly, listeners, we don't want to put the commentators' kiss of death on it all, but let's hope we do get at least a goal. And just to reiterate what Russ is saying there, that we could get goals, that there's only been 1-0 draw in the opening week of the tournament, so thus far. So there's plenty of cause for optimism, as Russ quite rightly points out. But I don't think it'll be 0-0. There might be a chance here in the offing there for Italy, and they might get a chance here now. Here on this near side, Insigne now to number 5, Locatelli. And they're passing the ball around at will. Crossing from Giovanni Di Lorenzo. Now the ball comes to Barella. Edge of the D. Now the ball is lifted out to the right-hand side here for Italy. I will try and keep up with it all. The Italian numbers are so narrow, it's hard to tell who's who at the moment. And of course, we're working off television monitors, so it makes it that doubly difficult. But we'll try and be as descriptive as we can here, folks. Bear with us. Here's Jorginho, the Chelsea man. Gets it to the far side, and Di Lorenzo has it. And now he has to go back to the unmistakable figure of Leonardo Bonucci. On one of the Juventus sides. And there's a man that is unmistakable with his captain's armband, number 3. Giorgio Chiellini, the most experienced man in the side, 108 caps behind him. Certainly a stalwart of this Italian side. Of course, they've won course, they've won the World Cup as well all these years ago. They've never won the Euros, in fact, Italy. And they play the ball in there towards Immobile, but he can't be found. It was good defending there by Fabian Schär. Now a chance now for Kevin, number 7 here, Embolo, who scored on Saturday. Could have just ran into traffic as he made his way into the penalty box. And both teams at the moment, Russ, looking very, very lightning fast on the break.
They are indeed, JB. Both teams very, very quick on the break, and Italy showing this far right now.
Yes, and Insigne's got it on the left-hand side here, RV, and now he's got Mbappé to face. Now number 5 is Locatelli, and here goes a chance here for Italy. The cross comes in, and it's over the top. And it was Immobile with the header from 6 yards, and the first gilt-edged chance of the night. Russ, it was created here by Spinazzola, the left-back. He made a terrific run to the byline, to the left-hand byline. He put in a terrific cross, Russ. And you would have thought Immobile from 6 yards, maybe a little bit more than that, should have at least hit the target with that.
Yes, good bit of play again from Italy down the left. Spinazzola put the ball in. Immobile met it well. None of the Swiss defence was switched on there to go to stop him from getting on the end of it. We should have touched on somewhere in the goal there. Italy having the better of the chances going forward for me so far, JB.
Yes, I wouldn't disagree with that too much, Russ. I think Italy, you would expect that. They are technically the home team. They are technically the home team. Of course, they're facing the A team in Switzerland. But don't worry, this is not an episode of the A team. There is no for Switzerland. Since when was George Peppard and Mr. T Swiss? But there you go. But their nickname is the A team. But at the moment, they're playing like the B team because Italy are on top at the moment. Jan Sommer now with Insigne, Immobile rather, right on him. And he's played a bad pass out. And a chance here for Italy inside the area. Berardi's there, and he's chasing the lost cause again. He's got the ball back for Italy. Jorginho nets it out to Spinazzola, who's having plenty to say for himself on the left-hand side. Now Insigne, the number 10, cuts in field from the left. He goes down. Referee says no penalty. And VAR will check it. But we play on, and we'll get Russ's views in a second here. Spinazzola's away again. Gets to cross in, but it's too far away. And the chance goes, but Italy's still on the attack here. And the shot comes in, deflects and hooked away by Valde and out for a throw-in. And we'll get Russ's view on it in a second because Italy, from the throw-in, are back on the attack straight away. It's fast and frenetic and furious. And here's the ball out to towards Immobile. Now Spinazzola again. Spinazzola looking to create an opportunity here. He's found Insigne on the left-hand side of the penalty box. In it goes. Here's Chiellini coming forward from the back. And he's still forward again, Chiellini. Lovely triangle passes. Now Spinazzola. He's really started this game really well. 12.5 minutes gone. Italy nil, Switzerland nil. And off the defender he goes. In fact, a goal kick has been given. Well, Russ, was it a penalty?
For me, JB, I'm just looking at it again here. For me, no. Insigne was looking for it there, and no penalty for me. Insigne made sure there was contact and then threw himself down, and no penalty for me. I just wanted to say a big hello to Trevor as well, who's tuned in. Thank you for your tweet, Trevor. I'll read that out in the next passage of play that we have.
Well, thank you as well, Trevor. Keep with us. So this is going to be a cracker, Trev. So keep with us, mate. And, of course, coming up on Trevor Sports, you'll see an England-Scotland clash, but it's for the home international tournament. That's in the virtual world of Trevor Sports. That, I think, will be going out on Saturday. I actually recorded the commentary for that last night. I have to say, Russ, I enjoyed it very much without giving anything away. It was a super match, but I'm not going to tell you the score. You'll have to tune in Saturday and find out.
I will tune in, JB. You know me, I'll always tune in.
Yeah, absolutely. I know you will, and it's always a given. Anyway, 13 minutes gone in real life, in the real world, and it's Italy nil, Switzerland nil. And I have to agree. I have to concur with Russ there because I was going to make the point actually that the defender did take his leg away. which is always a fair sign, as Granit Xhaka now tries to steer Switzerland away towards less choppier seas, I should say. But at the moment, the Italians defending from the front and not allowing Switzerland too much space to work into. The referee has given a free kick to Italy for a foul there. Is it on number 8, Jorginho? Yeah, but Shaqiri involved. Yes, pulls him back there, doesn't he? Shaqiri thinks he's made a meal of it, Ross.
I thought he did as well, JB. To be fair with you, mate.
Well, the referee was right on top of it, and he's got better eyesight than us. We're about 1,000 miles away in a studio in England watching this, but the referee's much closer to the action than what we are, that's for sure. Anyway, here's the number 5 now, Locatelli, who had a super match against Turkey on Friday evening and really put in a terrific shift. And again, the Italians, it's not easy weather to play football, of course, with the humidity at around about 65% at the kickoff time. It's always going to be tough. Quarter of an hour played then, still 0-0, but the best chance fell to Immobile from 6 yards. And here they go again as the ball comes out and the shot right-footed over the top from Insigne. And, well, I don't think it was going anywhere near the goal, Russ, but he charged his arm, Russ, and unfortunately he didn't win the lottery.
No, but JB, if you don't have a go, you're never going to win. And he had a go there and he still didn't win, but you never know. On the next attempt, he could end up winning. And Trevor's tweet said, realisation that the TV company has got 2 other commentators on which so many people like, means you can should be switched over to the fantastic alternative commentary from JB and RV, and you'll actually enjoy the match with the hashtag TrevorFact.
Fantastic, Trevor, and thank you for championing us. Anyway, back to the game, and it's Insigne making a break from the right-hand side, but it was well hassled out there by 2 or 3 Swiss defenders. That's surely a foul there by Jorginho and Shaqiri. And a free kick to Switzerland, which will give them a little bit of respite because, let's face it, Italy are on top there. Definite free kick there, Russ, no doubt about it. But Italy on top at the moment, and Switzerland will be very grateful at this point for a bit of a respite. 16 minutes gone, 0-0.
Yes, they will, JB. They'll be grateful for a respite after Italy have just carved chance after chance after chance out, and they'll man do that again because they're just on the ball again now in the midfield area, and they're playing it too close. Out to Spinazzola, JB.
And here is Spinazzola again, our friend at the moment. Bomber free kick, which was given in the centre circle. Definite free kick it was, by the way. And here is Jorginho, midway inside the Swiss half. And now Immobile has it and gets the ball out to the far side. And here's Di Lorenzo, digs out a good cross. Can he find Spinazzola with it? No. And Mbappé got there, and the Italians have yielded a corner now with 17 and a half minutes gone. And I think that familiar figure is a well-known goalkeeper, Mr. Buffon. Of course, Gianluca Vialli's part of the backroom team for Italy this time, assisting Roberto Mancini. Good to see him in good health as well. He was very passionately singing the Italian national anthem before the start of the game. Here's Insigne to take the corner. Referee just making sure that there's no pushing and shoving. From the left-hand side then, Jan Sommer stays on the line as that ball comes into the 6-yard area, and it's knocked in by the captain, Chiellini. Switzerland are claiming something, but Italy don't care. They're in front, and Rome has gone absolutely mad. 25,000 Italians are in absolute ecstasy, and Switzerland did not clear their lines, and the captain comes up with a captain's goal. And that's his 9th goal in Italian colours. Italy 1, Switzerland 0, 18 and a half minutes gone. RV.
What a corner that is. And they never picked him up, and he managed to get free. And it was a superb goal from the captain. It was a striker's finish from that range and that close out. I think when Xhaka is the one who was claiming for a potential handball or a foul in there on the Swiss number 5, Akanji, but I can't see nothing wrong with that challenge from Chiellini. And But VAR are checking it, JB. I can see any problem. I think the goal should be given, JB.
I think it's a fair goal, but VAR is there to help, and it's down to our VAR referee, Michael Oliver, from England. The County Durham is where he's from. Surely the goal can't be ruled out. It looked a perfect good shoulder barge. If this is given, Russ, then we give up, because this is what, because we need the physicality in the game. There was nothing wrong with that goal at all, and if he disallows this will be a travesty. Well, what's he giving here? Is he going to give me the goal? No, handball. He's giving it for hands, I think, Russ. I didn't really see the replay of that. He's not giving it for hands, Russ. Now, what's your reaction to that? 20 minutes gone, it's now 0-0.
Yes, no handball in there. If it is an handball, for me, it's come off Granit Xhaka. He did strike his arm, but Granit Xhaka's arm was up there. He come off Granit Xhaka as well, JB. And he come off Granit Xhaka's arm last. So he shouldn't have been disallowed there for me. As Shaqiri's just being
absolutely. I've seen the replay. I concur with you, Russ. Italy have been robbed. That is a perfectly good goal. And Michael, and isn't it ironic? The first controversial VAR decision is made by an Englishman.
JB's not that Michael Oliver. He's the fourth official. Is Bastian Dankert from Germany.
Dankert. Yeah, isn't it ironic? A German makes a mistake.
It is, yes.
Yes, my apologies now. Michael Oliver is the fourth official. I was so encapsulated with the goal, or the long scoring of the goal, which, as it turned out, I forgot the VAR was Bastian Dankert. My apologies to everybody. But there you go. Russ has put me straight, and the great guy that he is. But I'm in concurrence with Russ. There was nothing wrong at all with that goal. And Chiellini, who thought he scored his 9th goal for his country, well, unfortunately, it's been chalked off, and he will be incensed. And I think a lot of the Italians will be incensed. I must say, though, in that incident, he showed some great strength to hold off 2 Swiss defenders. But I think I'm with you. It comes off Granit Xhaka. There's nothing he can do about that. And I think the German there has made an absolute ricket. But, we'll just have to see how that affects the Italians about it. They want to put that definite wrong, questionable wrong right. Here's Spinazzola.
And also, JB, just want to say, it'd be interesting to see if a goal like that is scored for Switzerland, whether that gets ruled out for handball or whether that gets stood. And if that gets stood, Italy will then be complaining and will have a right to complain.
Yeah, and there'll also be a riot in Rome, there's no doubt about it. And then the guy at the centre of it is Bastian Dankert at the moment. Anyway, halfway through the first half, it's Italy 0, Switzerland 0. Italy had the ball in the back of the net. Well, it looked like a perfectly legal goal, but given for hands. But I can't see anything. But Russ and myself in the box, looked at 2 or 3 replays of it, and we've got the same view as our VAR ref here. We saw nothing wrong. I think he should have just erred on the side of caution and given the goal. But if we're going to get goals disallowed for nothing offences like that, then what's the point in having it? Anyway, here's Shaqiri now for the Swiss now. Far side gets the cross in, but that's not going to trouble Donnarumma. The hit's kept in there by Embolo. And now a chance now for Freyna, who plays for Atalanta. And Xhaka chips it in, but it's no problem for Donnarumma. No player within about 4 or 5 yard radius of him. And it was easy for the AC Milan goalkeeper. That might actually, this controversial decision, just perk up the Swiss a little bit now, Russ. Halfway through the first half.
Yes, it could do, JB. And if you look to Switzerland, since I just now gone out on top and I'm just looking at it again. He is Granit Xhaka and then bounces down.
I agree.
Xhaka. If anything, if they were to disallow it, potentially for me, I think the only reason I think he could potentially disallow it is because Chiellini's got his arms on a candidate to jump, and that's the only reason he can disallow it. If he's going to give it something against Chiellini, where he did come off Granit Xhaka there.
It looks as if we're going to see a substitution here because it looks like Chiellini is going to be replaced by Francesco Akabai. And that is a blow for Italy because Chiellini must have had some sort of injury because, as you were talking, Russ, he put the ball out of play and he took the captain's armband off straight away. And it's not like Chiellini, the guy with so much experience, 108 caps he was winning tonight, 108 caps he was winning tonight. Ford had his 9th goal, and he won't get the chance to put that right. Sadly, he's got an injury, and Embolo does a sporting thing and gets the ball back. That's a huge blow for Italy to lose their talisman at the back. And the captain's armband, incidentally, has been given to Leonardo Bonucci.
Yes, it's a big blow for the Italians and Roberto Mancini to lose Jorginho Chiellini there, and be interesting to see how they go about things now with Francesco Esarabe coming on to replace him. JB, be interesting to see how that one pans out in the rest of this game.
Yeah, and that is a blow. An enforced substitution for Robbie Mancini. There's no doubt about that. And it is a disappointment, really, when you look at it, because, you know, that he is Mr. Italy, and there's no doubt about that. But anyway, Italy have got to just put those 2 injustices behind them and see if they can get a break on here. Berardi steaming down the right-hand side, gets to the byline. That's a goal! There's not going to be chalked off this time. And it's Locatelli who came in, gambled inside the 6-yard box, and Italy get that goal. They so deserved and wiped the wrongs of about 3 or 4 minutes ago. Locatelli scores, 25, nearly 26 minutes gone. Rome goes potty. And this goal will not be chalked off, absolutely sure. It's Italy 1, Switzerland 0, and RV, what a break from Berardi to set it up.
Yes, superb break from Berardi to set that up. And it was a fantastic bit of play. Started off a fantastic ball out wide to the right-hand side, and to Berardi, who managed to get the ball, got the ball back across, and there was Manuel Locatelli to open the scoring. Jan Sommer could do nothing about that, and Domenico Berardi has got his 2nd assist, if you can call it that, after the own goal on Friday. He's set up one tonight as well, and Italy lead 1-0.
Yes, they do, and a great goal. And that's his 2nd goal in Italian colours, Locatelli. Manuel Locatelli plays for Sassuolo, who by their own standards haven't had the greatest of seasons in Serie A, but it just shows really that Italy haven't got any real stars in their side, but they've got a great team ethic, and that's always the case in point. Just a bit, well, it's more stylish than what Wales are. When we saw that in Baku today. And I just want to apologise that we couldn't bring that game. Obviously, we couldn't find a replacement commentator, but here's a shot coming in and over the top from Switzerland, and he's behind for a goal kick. But, well, that'll do Locatelli's confidence a world of good. 1 goal in 2 games. This is what happened again. Lovely running again by Berardi. Showed the defender in and out, and really that was bad defending, and they just didn't see Locatelli coming in there. It was a great goal. But just going back to why we couldn't do the Wales game, folks, basically our original commentator was falling ill at the last second, and as much as we scrambled to try and find a replacement, there was just nobody available. I couldn't do it because I was doing this game, and unfortunately Russ couldn't do it because he'd done the earlier one, and there was a lot of people working and doing loads of other stuff. So, of course, we're all part-timers of the commentary team. We do have day jobs as well as this one. And we apologise unreservedly that we couldn't bring you that Wales victory. But what a great day for Welsh football, and it puts them on the thing. And also, this is good news for Wales, incidentally, because the Swiss will stay on 1 point with 2 games played, and that would surely put Wales definitely 1.5 feet into the last 16, Russ. That's great news for Wales if this turns out to be a good result for Italy.
Yes, it is, and I just want to say I watched the Turkey game as well against Wales earlier. I'll come back to my point in a minute.
Yes, Embolo now is making Embolo is making a good run now. Well, Mbappe, I should say. Shaqiri, you can't keep him out of the game. Oh, that's a poor ball from Shaqiri straight away. Puts Italy on the attack again, and here goes Domenico Bagardi again looks to pick out Lorenzo Insigne again. The front three really working in tandem, and I think the 4-3-3 definitely suits Italy. It's a very bold attacking style. Usually it was 4 or 5 at the back, always defending, and always relying on star players. But this Italian team look a completely different proposition. And it was a sad loss to the World Cup, or the last World Cup, that they weren't there and didn't qualify. But when Mancini took the job, he overhauled the side, got the average age down, and played a great brand of football, which has paid dividends and has certainly reaped the benefit and has reaped the benefits and the rewards, that is for sure. And Italy now, if the scores stay the same or they increase the lead, which they're very liable to do the way they're attacking at the moment, they will definitely be in the last 16. And no team would want to take on the Italians at this moment in time. At the moment, they're looking to extend the unbeaten run to 30 games and go 10 wins on the bounce. And they'll be looking to keep their 10th consecutive clean sheet. But here's Shaqiri now on the left-hand side. Finds Mbappé. Mbappé cuts away. Remember, they've lost Chiellini. Half an hour gone. Locatelli on 26 minutes. The difference for Italy here. 1 up they are, but they've lost their talisman, their captain, the man that makes everything chip, Giorgio Chiellini. He's been replaced by Acerbi. And that's going to be a free kick, in fact, to Italy. And a bit of respite for the Italians. And
yes,
really,
a big respite there, JB. He did well there, did Jorginho, to draw the foul from Serovic and get that free kick to just tear the pressure off. And it looks like, I'm just looking, I can see Chiellini on the bench. Looks like it might be his knee that has gone for the Italian captain.
Well, let's just hope it's a precautionary measure and not and nothing more than that, because what the Italians don't need, of course, they've got practically a dead rubber match if they were to win tonight. They're on 6 points, and surely it will be a game against Wales. You can't really say it's a dead rubber because both teams will want to win, both Wales and Italy, when they play each other early next week. Will want to try and win the group outright and give themselves a little bit of a draw. But Italy shouldn't be in too much danger because, of course, there's 8 teams that are eliminated at the first round stage, because what happens is the top 2 automatically go through, plus 4 of the highest scoring points from 4 third-place teams. And Scotland could still be in the mix for that, by the way, but they have to get a positive result against England and then beat Croatia at Hampden Park to do that. And, of course, England against Scotland will be live here on the Commentary Hub and on JB Sports. And Mike Arneman will be your big match commentator. And guess who's presenting? Yep, yours truly. And we're going to have Justin Hoyt as our very special guest. He's making a return. And the bromance with Justin Hoyt, it will be rekindled on Friday night rather, with myself and with Mike Arneman commentating. But I'll be reunited with Justin Hoyt, who I seem to enjoy commentating with. No disrespect, Ross. And he absolutely blew me away with his knowledge of the game. So do you, Ross, by the way. But obviously, he's played the game for the biggest teams.
Yes, he was good on Saturday, I've got to admit. I was speaking to him after that game. I'll tell you what I was speaking to him about after. It's Italy on the attack at the moment.
Yes, Immobile now, it's cut inside, but he's going to just run. Oh, Sommer took a chance there. Should have grabbed it. And the ball chipped back and off the line. It was Insigne with the chip, but they haven't kept it. They haven't got it away. Berardi has possession on the right. And now the ball has been slowed down. Di Lorenzo. And here is Bonucci, who's taking over the captaincy. Spinazzola, who's had a terrific first 33 minutes. We're inside the last quarter hour of the first half, plus any additional time at the end of the first half here at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome. Italy 1, Switzerland 0. And Switzerland, who was very impressive when I saw them against the Welsh on Saturday, looking a pale shadow of that side tonight. They haven't really got into it at all. And even with the injury to Chiellini, it's not really affected the Italians too much in the way of it. And it looks as if Acerbi has really settled in there pretty seamlessly. And there's Bonucci taking possession once again. I think you were going to say something before Mobley got through.
Yes, as we were going to say, we were just to speak to him after the game, and because we also on the contrary we also do commentaries on Premier League, EFL games as well. And just tonight is I was speaking to him about that, and he says he'd be looking to probably do some of those matches with his next season. So it looks like he might be a part of the coach team going forward for some Premier League games next season as well on the channel, JB.
Absolutely. Big key for us at the commentary hub, and I look forward to doing future projects with him. Might even get myself an interview with him, who knows? But yeah, I can imagine me doing my Michael Parkinson thing on him. But anyway, back to the football and more pressing matters. Of course, England against Scotland, I will be doing the hosting. Mike Arneman will be off Fox in the commentary box at Wembley. Well, for the game at Wembley on Friday night. Kick-off 8 o'clock. We'll start our build at around 7:45. Anyway, here's a chance for Switzerland as the cross comes in from Rodriguez, and it's behind for a corner now to Switzerland with 10 minutes of the first half remaining. That's a bit better from Switzerland, Russ, to be fair.
It was, yes, and it was a good bit of defending as well from Giovanni Di Lorenzo getting across there to pull the ball behind. And Switzerland, if they can score from here, they could go on and potentially go on to win this, especially if we get one now.
Well, they have to score first, and they've got to breach an Italian defence. It's not been breached for 9 internationals. Here comes the corner from the far side. It's a poor corner, really poor corner. And here come the Italians now, doing what they do best on the counter-attack. And it's a Mobley leading the line. He's up against 3 against 3 now. And here's Berardi. Berardi with a shot. And it came off the defender, but just for a moment there, Italy were closing in on the Swiss goal. It was 3v3. Good challenge there in the centre circle. Referee was quite happy with that. And I have to say, Mr. Casadef, the referee, has kept the game flowing. Italy have been on top in terms of total attempts, 6-1, 1 corner each, and Italy have bossed possession. But a 1-0 lead is still a narrow lead, and it's still a dangerous lead. And Switzerland, if they get an opportunity or get a lucky break, are liable to steal an equaliser. But at the moment, Italy looking very strong and firm despite the absence of Chiellini now. And here's Spinazzola down the left into the penalty area. He might go all the way himself. Oh, he nearly did. It would have been a magnificent goal if he'd have just had the composure to finish. He toe poked it with the right foot, agonisingly well wide of the post as it turned out. And, well, it would have been up there for the best individual Italian goal since Roberto Baggio all the way back in 1990. And, again, the Italians showing their worth for us on the counter-attack.
Yes, they are, JB. Yes, they are. And I think with that chance there from Leonardo Spinazzola, who has done well down this left-hand side for Italy in the first half, was profited by Fabian Schär of Newcastle. I think he just came across at the right time to Fabian Schär to pull the left back off, and that's what made him drag his shot wide. I think he could have probably put him in the middle for, I think it might have been Insigne or Immobile in the middle to score, but he decided to try and go for goal himself and just play just wide. But Italy played some good football, and so Switzerland, even though, and his Italy was in the lead at the moment, 1-0.
Yes, 1-0 it is to Italy, live on the commentary hub and on JB Sports. We're also on Twitter and, of course, Periscope as well. And lots of other YouTube platforms as well, including Russ's own channel and Mike Harneman's channel, of course. And he was playing out a couple of games on his radio station, Storm FM. Give that a try if you can. And I'm sure Russ will, we'll give you that in the description below a little bit later on. Anyway, whilst Russ was talking, the Swiss Shaqiri was caught offside. But the free kick from Italy didn't come to much. And now the Swiss have it again with Sebavic now on the halfway line. And here's Aquini, one of the 3 centre-backs. Now Xhaka in field now to Freyler. Plays for Atalanta, of course, here. He'll know this ground pretty well, having visited with Atalanta. And now here's Rodriguez. Rodriguez now looking for Xhaka, but he couldn't be found. And now a chance now for the Italians to lightning fast again, the breakout. And they've got plenty of men forward. And here's that man against Spinazzola. He's making long busting runs down that left-hand side, and he's won his team a corner. he has not. I tell you what, he's got to be in line for man of the match for me, but I'm not choosing it. Russ is, but he's got to be a candidate at this, even at this early stage with 6 minutes to half time. Sure, he's got to be one of the candidates for man of the match, surely.
He is, yes, JB, and if he gets to himself a goal, he could even be my choice already because he's up there already, along with Insigne and Immobile as well at the moment. But if he gets the goal, I might have to go for Spinazzola.
Well, there's still a long way to go yet, and still many twists and turns to go in this game. Corner now to the Italians. To be taken on the left-hand side, the near side as we look. Insigne now runs up to take a corner, but it's too close to Yann Sommer, who didn't catch it. Well, I'm amazed under no great pressure that Yann Sommer decided to fist it because it's put his team back in trouble again on the far side. And here's the ball touched back by Locatelli, and he's through again, and another corner, and that all stemmed from the goalkeeper's reluctance to catch the ball.
Yes, and when the ball come in, if you're a goalkeeper, you try to come out, claim the ball, and take everyone with you, and he didn't do that there, JB. So just didn't even. I don't think even. I'm not even sure what he tried to do there, and he's forced another corner from this. And if it's a score from here, he's going to be down to Yann Sommer's fall for me.
Yeah, well, he was under no great pressure. There was no player within a 6-yard radius of him. Anyway, the Italian corner from the right-hand side, in it goes, curled in, and that was better defended by the Swiss. And this time they left it, the goalkeeper quite sensibly left it to his centre-half Schär to get it away. Now then, Spinazzola, he's had a terrific first half. He's surely got a, as I said, as we've just said, candidate for man of the match. We're coming up to the last 4 minutes plus injury time in the first half. We're going to stay with you at half-time and have a discussion about Wales-Turkey, Russ and myself. And, of course, look forward, of course, to Scotland, England against Scotland on Friday, which you can hear here on this channel. And the ball right across, and the goalkeeper got half an hand on it. And he was lucky in a sense there, Sommer, that there was no Italian within a 5 or 6 yard radius to get on the end of it. There's 2 Swiss players down on the floor. A free kick has been given to Switzerland. Stefanovic is down, number 9. He was the first man down, and then there was a second man down. I couldn't see who it was, the second man, but Stefanovic, the striker, was hurt. May have just twisted his ankle. It was purely accidental. As we just see that opportunity again there for Italy as the goalkeeper palmed it out. And, well, it's all happened here. It's been a terrific, frenetic 45 minutes, Russ. 42 minutes, sorry, Russ, so far. We're not quite at 45 yet. But
I'm wishing the game away, JB. I'm enjoying watching it. I don't want it to finish just yet.
I don't think anybody wants it to finish yet. It's been. I think that's something that Donnarumma. Well, he was dangerously out of his goal, and there was a Swiss player, and now Italy in a little bit of trouble. The ball back to Donnarumma, and Mbappe put him under a little bit of pressure, and the goalkeeper quite wisely at that point had to put it out for a throw on the near side, which is almost in level with the 6 yard box of Italy. They've taken it now, and Xhaka now finds Evaldi. Nico Evaldi now of Mönchengladbach gets the ball back to Fabian Schär. Now the third centre-back, Manuel Inchini, who plays his football in Germany as well for Borussia Dortmund. Here comes Schär of Newcastle. Schär knocks the ball out towards the far side, towards Rodriguez, who chests it down beautifully, but shows too much of that. And in the end, to Di Lorenzo, and a goal kick to Italy. And, well, just for a second or two, Russ, it looked as if for a moment that Swiss were getting up ahead of steam. But again, the Italians doing what they do best, making sure that the door is slammed firmly ajar. Or firmly shut, I should say.
Yes, and Italy, since they've done the lead, JB, for me, have really defended really well. They've shut up shop quite well and not let Switzerland in and forced them into making a few mistakes in their own penalty area, and they've just won a free kick there. Jorginho was the man who was fouled, and Jorginho has done really well, and that's silly from Severovic then. Jorginho wasn't going anywhere, and he just let Italy keep the ball going towards the final 60 seconds. It was stoppage time of this first half.
Yes, and it's Donnarumma to get the ball away. Quick word, really, about the referee. He's been very reluctant, in fact, to dig his hand into his pocket to show anybody yellow or red cards. It's actually refreshing to see that we don't want to see men yellow carded or sent off for just silly little petty fouls. We want to just make sure that the referees just referee the game sensibly, regardless of the directives that UEFA will throw at them, as they do every single tournament, whether it's a European Championship or a World Cup. Anyway, here's a chance now for Embolo. Gets to the byline. His shirt was being tugged, and Embolo's trying to claim that, but I don't think the Russian referees having anything to do with it. But to be fair, he did have a fistful of shirt. Mind you, Embolo had a fistful of number 50 and another had a fistful of Akabi's shirt as well, to be fair. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Yes. Nothing in that for me from a Switzerland point of view. If he gave that, you couldn't really tell which way to give that. So I think the referee did well. And just to note to the referee, he has let the game flow. And I think, JB, although none of the tackles have deserved a booking, I think he may have left his cards in the change room for the first half.
Well, in fact, yeah, but he'll be going back there in a couple of minutes because that's the allotted stoppage time we've got at the end of the first half, and it just shows how correct Russ has been in the way that the referee has allowed the game to flow, hence why we've just the 2 minutes at the end of the first half. Here's Shaqiri now for Switzerland, gets the ball back to Cher. Cher goes over halfway and plays an aimless ball, and now he's out of position. And here come the Italians again with that lightning fast break of theirs. And it's Insigne now down the left-hand side into the penalty area. And that's a poor ball, really, from Insigne. He had two to his left, two to his right, I should say. And he found neither of them. And he found the defender instead. But Italy win the ball back to their great credit. And they played brilliantly on the counter-attack. Only the one goal in the lead, but they've certainly played well enough in this first half, especially Spinazzola, who's now out of position down that near side. And here goes Mbappé now of Wolfsburg towards the penalty area. He's got two in the middle. And here's Savanovic. And, well, what a cool bit of defending that was from Giovanni Di Lorenzo. Dummied the ball and then let the ball run down into touch for an Italian goal kick. 30 seconds to go to half-time. What a cool bit of defensive play that was. Nice little dummy.
Yes, he was, JB. He knew no one was near him, JB, and he knew it was going to be a good defensive play. So, good bit of defending there from Di Lorenzo.
Absolutely. Now we've got about 10 seconds to half-time. And we'll get Russ's opinions on the first half after the whistle has finally been blown by referee Sergei Karasev of Russia. And as I say that, right on cue, he blows the whistle. So the Russian rep was for half-time, and a goal scored by Manuel Locatelli has given his second international goal, has given Italy the lead at half-time. There was another, the ball was also in the net, Swiss net, of course, earlier on when Chiellini knocked the ball in from a corner, but it was disallowed for an alleged handball, although me and Russ were a little bit were disagreeing with the VAR man from Germany, Dankert, but it didn't matter because Italy had got their lead and they deserved it just on the balance of play. Italy won, Switzerland nil at half-time. Let's get Russ's verdict on what's been a terrific first half.
Yes, JB, you've just mentioned their terrific first half. Italy could have had 2, maybe 3 goals up, and if they did, you couldn't complain. Since the goal, they've had a lot of the chances, and even before that, they had a lot of the chances. Yes, Switzerland have had a few chances themselves, but they've not really done how to test Gianluigi Donnarumma in the Italian goal tonight. And Italy, unfortunately, only to a few saves short of Elde, and Akanji have had to do some fantastic defending at the back. And Italy deserve the lead of the break, 1-0. Could have been more, and I'm interested to see how the second half goes.
Absolutely, Russ. We're staying with you to bring that second half to you in about 15 minutes' time. In the meantime, while we've got the break on at the moment, let's turn our attentions to earlier today, where Wales pulled off a remarkable result in Baku against the Turks. Ramsey getting the first one, and then a second goal towards the end. Gareth Bale, in fact, missed a penalty as well in between all that, but he certainly, the penalty miss aside, he had a terrific influence on the game. And what a great result that is, not just for the team, but for Welsh football in particular. They are really on the rise again. And dare we say it, could they have a run? No one wants to predict what they might do in the latter stages should they get to the last 16 and go further than that. But do they dare to dream again and reach a semi-final? I don't think so this time, but they could do a bit of damage certainly in the last 16. Good result for Wales today, anyway.
It was, JB, and I was watching that game earlier. Wales defended really well. Yes, taking a few chances and hit them over from close range and had efforts which was saved on the line as well. But Wales deserved the win. Poor penalty, it must be said though, from a Wales point of view. But Wales deserved the win. But Wales deserved the win, and Aaron Ramsey took his goal fantastically well to put them in the lead, and then there was a fantastic goal from Conor Robertson at the end to double the Welsh lead. And Wales have 1 foot in the knockout stages of the European Championships, delayed European Championships for Euro 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's worth noting that if the side had played a year earlier, I don't think they would have got a result like that today, because I think having that extra year experience has really helped Robert Page and his side pull off a real result. So they've got 4 points, but Italy are top as things stand with 6 points. Switzerland have 1. Turkey surely out of it, you would think, with 0 points. Although they'll need to beat Switzerland well in their last game, providing Switzerland don't get anything in the second half tonight to give themselves a chance. And even then, 3 points might not be enough. That is for sure. Of course, we've got some more live action tomorrow. But the one that we're really interested in is going to be at 8 o'clock on Friday night. I'm going to be in the presenter's chair for that one, like I am technically tonight, actually, even though I'm the main commentator. But I'm also doubling as presenter, of course. But I will be a sole presenter on Friday night because, as you probably might have guessed, there is a nice little kickabout between England and Scotland taking place. And I want to use most of the extra time, the extra 15 minutes, to talk in depth about England against Scotland and what a game this promises to be. England got off to a decent start, shall we say. Croatia didn't cause them too many problems throughout that first match at Wembley on Sunday, and Raheem Sterling scoring the winning goal, of course. But they will know on Saturday, on Friday rather, that the Scots, even though they've lost the game, they'll know they'll be in a battle. That is for sure.
The will JB. England will know they're in for a battle on Friday night, and a fantastic work from both from Scotland, despite losing it. They had the biggest part of the chances on the first half against the Czech Republic, but just couldn't pull the ball in the back of the net, and a fantastic second goal. And I've seen a lot of people trying to blame the goalkeeper David Marshall for that second goal. But for me, you've got to blame Henry for the shot. He was Marshall was expecting Henry's shot to go through and test the keeper into the penalty area. It was blown just outside, and by the time he realised and time to get back, he couldn't do that, and he couldn't get back in time. And it was fantastic, good defensive play from the Czechs throughout the game, and a fantastic bit of movement as well especially for the second goal. The 10 need to look before the ball even come to him to actually put the ball in the back of the net fantastically well.
Yes, it has to be said, Russ. I think, you blame Henry on that second goal. I don't think anyone could have foreseen that as soon as Henry tried that attempt, which was blocked. I don't even think we could have foreseen the Czechs scoring a goal like that. But I have to say, having watched it, and poor old David Marshall took a lot of unfair stick, as you said, for that goal. And no goalkeeper can anticipate. And I've played in goals myself before, just for fun or at Sunday or at youngster level. long time ago, mind you, but I know exactly what a goalkeeper is. Sometimes you are programmed to come off your line when the other team's attacking, just a shade or two outside your penalty area, and a shade or two outside the penalty box. And but he wasn't to know that that they were going to score a goal from the halfway line. But it must have been a great thrill for you being in. You were the commentator that particular day, the other day, and what a thrill for you to commentate on a goal like that, Russ. It must have been spectacular for you to do it.
Yes, he was, JB, and he actually came out and said, and I think I was speaking to you about it as well, and you actually said it to me as well. I think I actually called it on commentary as well. For me, so far, we've seen plenty of good goals in the tournament so far. That second goal for the Czech Republic against Scotland so far is the goal of the tournament. And if anyone has any different opinion on that, then just let us know down in the comments below, and we'll hear you out and you can have your argument. But for me, that second goal for the Czech Republic is goal of the tournament.
I think you have to go a long, long way in this tournament, or you'd have to go through all the goals to try and find a better one than that one. I've got to say, and I don't think it could be matched really in terms of the way he took it, and I think he did mean it. To be fair, Russ, I'm not sure what he said afterwards, but I'm sure he meant it. There was nothing else as far as I watched it back later on that night. I wasn't there. I wasn't watching it at the time. I was doing my day job, and I was listening to it on the radio, and I can remember the commentator for the radio being completely going potty about it. But I think he meant it, and I think I don't think there's much doubt about it. He didn't think there was anything else on, and he chanced his arm and he threw in the back of the net. Now, what do Scotland need to do to keep the English out? Now, we know that the Scots will be travelling down in numbers. There's no doubt about that. The Scottish fans will be at Wembley on Friday night cheering their team on, and they'll be there in decent enough numbers. Obviously, not big enough numbers, of course, because we've still got the COVID on. But what do Scotland need to do better? What they didn't do against the Czechs? I mean, obviously, just the word England should be enough to fire up their souls in their bellies. But they have to be very tactically more savvier, I believe, than what they were on Monday. What do you think, Russ? Do they have to be more savvy tactically, or or less naive, shall we say?
Well, for me, JB, obviously, I've watched both England and Scotland so far, and I think for me, Scotland need to be a lot aware defensively. Yes, they did defend well at times against the Czechs, especially in that first half, but the wing backs, O'Donnell and Robertson, or Forrest and Robertson, whoever Steve Clarke opts to play in that position for Scotland on Friday evening, whoever he picks to play in that position needs to be a lot more, needs to be on the game a bit more, needs to make sure when they've lost possession, get back quickly. So at times O'Donnell didn't get back quickly, so Czechs were using down Scotland's right there, left flank a bit more than what they were on the right, because Robertson were getting back quickly. The back three need to be tighter together when they've not got the possession as well, because there were spaces where Andrew coming across to cover that right side, because the right wing back O'Donnell was too far up, so we're leaving a space in the middle where Andrew would have been in part of that back three, mainly on that left and then on the right as well. Hanley kept pushing out a bit too far up, was leaving space in behind through him, and Cooper, I don't blame him for any of the goals, and he did well and his positioning was well, but some of the times he's come all the way out and England can blind Mason Mount, making a run into the space inside to play 1-2 in behind. That could really hurt Scotland, especially because Hanley getting on a bit now, can't get back quickly enough. Yes, Cooper is a good defender and he's done well, and he did well at times. He's stopped him from cutting inside at times. But Liam Cooper will know what Karen Phillips is all about. Karen Phillips will know what Liam Cooper's all about defensively from the England's point of view. So it just depends whoever comes down on the day, whether Phillips has told England enough to get beyond Liam Cooper if he starts, and in behind that way depends on who Steve Clarke picks. 'Cause if Kieran Tierney's back from injury, I think Tierney may be in on the left hand.
Yeah, I just
back
want to make the point they
centre-back
did
role.
miss. I actually think they did miss Tierney a lot on Monday, and that really goes to show how much they depend on big players like Tierney.
Yes, it does, JB, and I think at times as well you could see an up front Christie and Daxton really work as well as the have done in the past, in my opinion anyway. And I think that's what some of the Scotland fans have said on some of the podcasts I've been listening to after the game and building up to the game as well, and building up to this match on Friday. So I think they need to probably put someone like Shea Adams up front who's got a bit of pace about him to cause Mings, Stones, Maguire and Stones, whoever Southgate picks a centre back, problems in the first half, and I think that could be one of the main problems if they don't utilise Shea Adams well enough. Scotland on Friday, I think England's just going to have a field day at the back, and if we don't get the defence right, Scotland, the pace of Foden, Mount, Sterling or Grealish, whoever he plays, Phillips from that number 8 role who's pushing forward, who's playing that bit for them what he normally does for Leeds, Calvin Phillips. We can utilise those players' pace and chances that were created against Croatia. It could be a long night for Scotland, and I can see England scoring 3-4. Could even be as 4 goals for England. So unless Scotland defend better, and I think they probably will do. We'll be an old enemy in England to up against.
Absolutely, and I don't think they'll need too many reminders that who they're playing against on Friday. Right, and also I just want to pay before they start the second half. Thank you for that, Russ. Before we start the second half, I'm especially pleased for one of our commentary team yesterday covering the Portugal game. You may remember on Saturday, poor old Nicholas Jones had the most horrific time trying to commentate on Christian Eriksen's what turned out to be a cardiac arrest, and me and Russ were there at the time. We're reporting the dramas to you with poor old Nicholas in tears. I was so pleased yesterday that he got to commentate on all 3 of the Portuguese goals yesterday, including 2 for Ronaldo. And I think if anybody deserved a goal blast like that yesterday, it was Nicholas Jones. And as the teams are now back out for the second half. But Russ, a word or two. What a day for Nicholas yesterday, and how pleasing was it him after 3 days of commentating on what could have been a disaster for him. He's come back. He's done a great job on the Portuguese side. Before I get your views on that, we're going to see Granovic about to come on for Switzerland. A word or two about Nicholas and how he's come back and commentated superbly on a terrific result for Portugal.
Yes, I was very impressed with his coverage yesterday. I was speaking to him afterwards as well, because I obviously presenting that one for him yesterday, and he did a fantastic job, and I think he's going to be one of the big commentators for the future on this channel, and I think JB could be a big part of the future for JB Sports as well going forward for some of your commentaries that you do as well. I think he's got a real talent there in Nicholas Jones, and I was pleased with him to see him do fantastically well last night.
Yes, and we're all behind you, Nicholas, and it was great to see you do really well. Just 20 years of age, Nicholas, and he's done a terrific job in certain aspects yesterday, and really pleased to see him on the JB Sports platform. As we get underway in the second half, of course, 2 alterations for both sides. One in the first half for Italy when Akabi, I think that's how you pronounce it, came on for the injured Giolini, and of course up front now we've got Grabanovic on now in place of Saborovic, and now Switzerland have won a corner 30 seconds into the second half, and Rodriguez is going to take it, number 13 from the left hand side. Italy 1, Switzerland 0. The goal from Locatelli after 26 minutes. Here comes the corner, taken by Rodriguez. It's an out swinger, and the header comes in, and it's wide of the far right-hand post. It was Just trying to make sure who it was. It was number 4 there, Alvidi. And Switzerland starting very positively, Russ, in the opening minute of the second half.
Yes, they are, JB. They fantastic, some fantastic stuff there from Switzerland. They saw the second half and putting Donnarumma under pressure there, and it's been a frantic start to the second half as it was in the first.
Yeah, and if we get the pace, and I have to say the pace of the game has not wavered, even though we're 10 o'clock local time over in Rome, it's 9 o'clock here in the UK. It's 25 degrees. This was the kickoff time we had it, 25%, and it was cloudy. It's got a bit darker since then, of course, and we had 69% humidity with very little kilometers an hour in wind. It was 7 kilometers at the start, so it's probably still around that time now. But for the humidity and how muggy it is out there, and with it being just over 20 degrees even at 10 o'clock on a local time in Rome, Russ, the pace of the game has not wavered one iota, has it?
No, it's not, JB, and a good start to the second half, and it's started like the first half ended. Good end-to-end stuff.
Yeah, and it was a general theme of the first half as well. It was end-to-end from the first whistle to the last in that first half, and already I would like to see a few more goals in the second half. One we've seen so far. In fact, we've seen 2 goals going. One was disallowed for a handball, which looked very controversial to me. I don't know what you guys think about it at home. Anyway, here's the ball played in and headed behind. Headed away, rather, I should say, by Di Lorenzo. The cross there from Mbappé. And the throw in to Switzerland, almost in line of the Italian 6-yard area. Rodriguez to take it. And back to number 5, Akinia. Akinia gets the ball back to Fabian Schär of Newcastle. And he's looking to take on all comers as well as 2 or 3 Italian defenders. And he got the ball through. And in fact, an infringement there by number 7, Embolo, has given Italy a free kick. There's the pull on the defender's shirt. That was Acerbi, and a free kick, quite rightly given to Italy, who are just playing a little bit of chicken here, and that's a definite free kick and the first yellow card of the game. And I'm not surprised, because that was an awful challenge. That, to me, Granovic, the substitute, who's just literally come on, has been on the field for about 3 minutes, Mario Granovic, and he's got himself a caution card, Russ. And it was a silly challenge, to be fair.
It was a silly challenge, JB. A silly challenge indeed, JB. And in fact, Switzerland, yes, they've started brightly, but silly free kicks like that would not be very good to give away.
Yeah, it's not going to be helpful for their manager, Vladimir Petrovic. We see some of the Italians and Swiss fans. I have to say, there's been a general theme that both sets of supporters have been mixing very, very good with each other. In fact, there's a few Swiss in there amongst the Italians, and there's been no sign of trouble. It's all been in a very good, friendly and cooperative spirit. And here come Italy trying to play out from the back. I think it's always a dangerous game to play out from the back. That's why I'm always pleased that Burnley don't play it sometimes. Anyway, here comes the ball forward. And how about that third game of the season, Russ? Just going to the Premier League, third game of the season. Burnley v Leeds at Turf Moor. What a cracker that's going to be, third game of the season.
It will be, JB, yes. And I'm looking forward to Leeds' first game of the new season. And that, for those who don't know, is Leeds United are travelling to arch rivals Manchester United.
Oh, what a game that's...
A game that's going to be as well, JB. And we're going to get your thoughts on the fixtures for Burnley at the start for Burnley as well, JB. And what do you make to Burnley's start? Or just wait for play to resume at the moment?
Well, I must admit, Russ, free kick there given, I think, to Italy, but to Switzerland rather. I have to say it's a mixed bag. We've got tough away trips to Liverpool, Everton, and Leicester, of course. But then you've got winnable games. No disrespect against Brighton, possibly Leeds. We could nick a draw from that one, possibly. But at home, we've got every chance of winning. Arsenal are still not the force they once were, unless. I mean, we can't really tell what's going to happen until the teams have spent money. Anyway, back to the tonight's game, and here goes A chance now for the number 11 here, Berardi, making a good run, played the ball in, half clear. Berardi will get the ball back on the left-hand side and brings Di Lorenzo into it. And here's the turn again. A chance here now for the shot again. Oh, it's gone in! Brilliant goal! A brilliant goal! And it's not man again! Locatelli! And it's 2-0 to Italy! And it's a lead they so thoroughly deserved. And Locatelli gets his third goal for Italy. A terrific shot from all at 25 yards. It nettled sweetly in the right-hand corner. And Italy now take a huge step towards the last 16 of Euro 2021. 2-0 they lead. 6.5 minutes played in the second half.
Yes, and JB, that goal will be rejoiced not just in Italy but around Wales as well. A fantastic bit of play into Locatelli, who had two players in front of him, and he hit it back across from where he came from, like you're taught to do as a youngster. It's about where you come from, where he's come from. He did just that. And Jan Sommer saw it late and had no time to react. And Italy fully deserve this lead, 2-0 up now. And Italy should really, JB, be 3-0 up. We like disallowed Chiellini's goal in the first half.
Well, they forgot about all that now because they've scored 2 goals. That really didn't matter now. There's a young Swiss fan there, probably because they've been heartbroken, but it's not over for the Swiss, of course. If they beat Turkey, they could still qualify as one of the higher placed place teams. But as you say, great moment that's for the Welsh as well. But now what Italy don't want to do is get careless at 2-0 up. They want to try and improve on the lead, and they've got another chance here. And here's a Mobley now running from halfway. That's surely got to be a free kick, and the referee's not giving it. Well, that looked a stick-on free kick about 10 yards inside the Swiss half on a Mobley, and the referee, for whatever reason from Russia, did not decide to give it, Russ. I'm absolutely perplexed.
You know what, JB? So am I. That surely should have been a free kick there to Italy. Clearly takes him out there. I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been Granit Xhaka, correct me if I'm wrong. And that's definitely a free kick. No wonder Insigne and Immobile are all going back towards the official. And that should have been an Italian throw-in, and he's getting to Switzerland there as well.
Well,
it's just unbelievable.
Well, I've got to admit, I don't think the Russian referee's having his finest hour, but Italy is certainly having a fine hour. They're coming up towards an hour played, in fact, 53 and 54 minutes almost on the clock. And I have to say that throwing decision as well, as you mentioned, Russ, looked very questionable as well. But the referee, I'm afraid, the referee's decision is final, and the players have got to abide by it. But to me, that free kick, that looked a stick-on free kick. And for whatever reason, the Russian referee, I don't know what was going through his mind at the time, but, any other right-minded ref would have given a free kick. And it just beggars belief why we don't have the best German or Spanish officials, or French officials even, for a game of this importance. And I don't think the referees, of course, in the Russian league, doesn't have the same intensity as a top caliber match as this. But I'm not trying to criticize the referee in any way, shape, or form. I just think the pace of the game is probably too frenetic for the referees. This particular referee is not used to the pace of the game, and that's why he's making 1 or 2 rickets in some of his decisions. Anyway, 10 minutes almost gone in the second half. Italy 2-0 up. Both goals either side of half-time from Locatelli. The second, a fabulous left-footed drive from 25 yards out. And here goes Spinazzola again on the far side. The left-hand side has to check. He's got 2 in the middle. He's gone back again. And Italy now just calming it down, trying to take the sting out of the game and not give Switzerland any possession whatsoever. They're going to keep the ball and just be ruthless if they can. And the more Swiss now, the more the Swiss break, the more liable and susceptible they will be to the counter-attack now. 10 and a half minutes gone in this second half. Locatelli with 2 goals, 26 minutes and 52 minutes respectively. And you're listening to this commentary live on the commentary of earlier. Wales won 2-0 by the same scoreline in Baku against the luckless Turks. And now looks like Wales and Italy, surely, barring accidents, are both definitely for sure going into the last 16 from Group A. And Switzerland now will have to regroup because they can still qualify as one of the third place, higher point scoring third place teams. 4 of them actually qualify. So not over yet for Switzerland, but they won't want that goal difference to suffer because it could still hinge on the goal difference compared to other third place teams from other groups. So they must try and keep the score at 2 if they can. What they don't want to do, Russ, is concede 3, 4 or 5.
Yes, and the way they've started defensively the second half, Switzerland, they could end up conceding 3, 4 or 5 goals, and Switzerland very shaky of the ball, good going forward, and they're making a dual substitution now, JB.
Yes, Widmer and Zuber are about to come on for Switzerland, and the number 22, Fabian Schär, is going to be replaced by Zuber, and that is not a surprise. I think I've got to be honest, I think Zuber will do a good job, and well, the number 2 there is going off as well, Kevin Mbappé, and Sylvain Widmer. Widmer is going to come on there, and he will now come on, and it looks as if he's seen enough there now, and well, there's another foul there. Zuber involved again. His first contribution is to concede a free kick. No, number 3, Widmer, is now on, and he will place as Kevin Mbappé, just to confirm. And Italy now looking to make it absolutely sure now from this free kick. 2-man committee on the near side. One of them is Domenico Berardi. Bonucci waits there as the ball is threaded in there. In fact, it was Insigne that took the free kick from the right-hand channel. It didn't come to anything, but it was well defended by Switzerland, who practically brought everybody back, all 11 men, into in their own penalty box. But it didn't matter one jot. There goes the kick there by Donnarumma, who really, Russ, in all fairness, hasn't really had, well, just bear with me because there was it didn't come to anything in the end, but there was an attempted pass from the near side of right to left flank, which didn't really come off, and they could have been in a bit of trouble. But just going back to Donnarumma, Russ, I can't recall, I don't know how you feel, I can't really recall him having any saves in by memory to set any saves to make in the game by memory.
I can't remember it either, JB. He's not had that many saves to make, and if he has, can anyone tell us? Because neither me or JB can remember him. So if he has, let us know in the comments, and I'll make sure I read them out.
Absolutely, Russ will read out the comments for you tonight, and of course, JB Sports listeners, we'll read your comments out. Russ will see to that, and of course, let me and Russ know what your feelings are, and who would your man in the match be? Of course, obviously Russ has got the vote because under the commentary hub rules, the co-commentator or commentator, if it's a solo commentator, has to decide man in the match. It's not like the old days when I used to do JB Sports solely when we asked you to do man in the match. But you can tell us who you've been impressed with, certainly from the Italian side, and certainly Locatelli would be high up in everybody's thoughts there. 2 goals, and that was the latest one. We're just seeing the replay of it. Get it out, first of all, with his left foot. First touch was excellent to control it, and then to hit it perfectly into the right-hand corner was an exceptional goal. And certainly a contender, if not to win it, but certainly to challenge for goal of the tournament. And Italy have covered 73 kilometres, 343 passes, 68 kilometres, and 274 for the Swiss, and it shows how dominant really Italy have been in the game. But here come the Swiss now with Shaqiri towards the edge of the area. Shaqiri's shot, and it goes over the top, and in fact a goal kick has been given, and the Italians celebrated as if they've scored another goal, Russ. That just shows how settled they are as a side.
Yes, it does, JB. And Shaqiri, I'm not sure why he was shooting for the angle and that eye. He should have tried bending it into that bottom corner. But poor defending here from Italy can get punished here, but managed to get out of it. But he should have gone hard and low across the floor there.
Well, in fact, they could end up scoring. In fact, they could end up scoring a third here if Switzerland aren't careful, and they still might. And it's just about, reached Insigne. It wasn't a good ball by Berardi. It just had enough legs on it, but Italy have kept possession really well. So from a dangerous position, that could have resulted in a Switzerland chance. And they were playing Harry Carey inside the penalty area. Now the Italians have broken away and could have easily scored a third themselves. That's the way the game has gone. But Italy have been, let's face it, Italy have been much the better side. There's no doubt in my mind that Italy are a force to be reckoned with. And if they can score another one, Russ, they're sending a huge, huge message out to the rest of Europe. Come and get us, because we'll take anybody on. We'll take any all-comers on.
Yes, they are, JB. And I've been impressed with Italy tonight. I've been impressed with him, especially in the second half against Turkey on Friday. And compared to Saudi against Wales, JB, I've not really been impressed with Switzerland tonight. I think Switzerland have been poor tonight compared to how they were first half against Wales on Saturday. So very disappointing from a Switzerland point of view. We're very happy from a Turkish point of view.
Absolutely, yeah. Of course, tomorrow we've got Ukraine and Macedonia, North Macedonia, I think, and then Denmark against Belgium. Those games to be played tomorrow. And you'll be able to hear those two on JB Sports, and of course as well here on the Commentary Hub and several other platforms, including Twitter and Periscope. And of course, there's Royal Ascot as well, of course, that's taking place at the moment as well. And I think it'll be Ladies' Day on Thursday, I think, in Royal Ascot. And I watched a little bit of the racing earlier on, and some very good horse racing too. Royal Ascot certainly delivers in terms of racing. And how good is it to see the royal family out in public, and of course all the crowds down there at Ascot this week, the racing. It's always a good sight to see, and it's one of the summer's more illustrious sporting events. But we've got an illustrious sporting event on at the moment here on JB Sports and the Commentary Hub, live, of course, on Twitter and Periscope and several other YouTube platforms as well. And here's a chance now for an opportunity now for the substitute, and a great save from Donnarumma, and the ball comes across, and Italy get it away. And it was, in fact, it was number 14 there. It was Zuber who got the shot in. I'll just get Russ's Bureau in a second or two, because that's the first save, and we've been playing nearly 64 minutes. That Gianluigi Donnarumma's had to make. He gets the ball this time from a poor pass and picks the ball up. But Russ there, that's the first time that Donnarumma's had a save to make, and he made it superbly. And Italy could have, in an instant, have been pulled back to 2-1.
Yes, fantastic save from Donnarumma there to deny the Switzerland attacker on this right-hand side, Stevan Zuber there, and then he come back off. Nico Avelde.
Yes, and here's Berardi now in the penalty area. Berardi now to finish it, and he's hit it wildly over the top in the end. But and the Italians again, Russ, on the counter-attack are so lightning quick and so dangerous. In fact, he didn't hit it too far over the bar, as it turned out. But yes, Italy again on the counter-attack, absolutely superb.
Yes, absolutely fantastic so far. And got a few comments in, JB, which I'll just read out. Trevor says, Locatelli must be worth 150 million now. Is his choice for man of the match? And Mike Ornament, our good friend, says, Locatelli to the Premier League. Who knows, Mike? He could potentially be, mate.
Well, we'll just have to see what comes in the window, which is now officially opened, of course. But with 25 minutes for stoppage time to go, good to see Mike and Trevor enjoying the banter and the commentary between RV and myself, JB, in the commentary box. John Stuttard and Russ Byrne in your alternative commentary team here on the Commentary Hub, live on JB Sports, Periscope, Twitter, and other YouTube platforms, including Russ's own channel and, of course, Mike's channel as well. And several different platforms you can listen to us on. As I say, Twitter and Periscope, just 2 of them. But it's still 2-0 to Italy. Goals on 26 and 52 minutes from Locatelli, really giving the Italians breathing space. But Switzerland have fought back well and have forced Donnarumma into making a terrific save. And here they come again, Switzerland, but that's going to fall nicely for Donnarumma inside his penalty area. In fact, he just lets it go there, although Mbolo's chasing him every inch of the way, but Donnarumma just teases him there, and we're going to see Chiesa, Federico Chiesa, the son, of course, of former Parma and Italy's Enrico Chiesa, of course, who played for Italy, and when Cesare Maldini was the manager, of course, because his father was a legend at Parma for many, many years when they were a top team before they ran into financial troubles and were relegated back to Serie C, and they had to build their way back up again through the Italian pyramid once more, and they have done successfully the last couple of years, of course. And Parma, a great old name. They reached the 94 Cup Winners' Cup final, losing to Arsenal, of course. I'm sure Mike will remember that as a youngster with great fondness. Alan Smith scoring the goal that day, but a long time ago. But we're going to see Chiesa in just a second or two. Striker by trade, and a very good one too. But Italy 2-0 up and coasting away now, surely to what will be an emphatic victory here, surely. But they must not make any mistakes. Chiesa being prepped to come on, and that's a foul. Free kick to Italy, found there on Jorginho, the Chelsea midfielder, who's won the Champions League in the last 2 or 3 weeks, of course. And no doubt at all that was a foul. As we go past the halfway point of the second half, 67 and 3/4 minutes gone, and the Swiss are still believing, and Chiesa is still waiting to come on here. Just getting the final instructions there from the Italian manager, or the assistant to Roberto Mancini, who, of course, is now 56 years old. 136 captain. He's playing days for the Azzurri and scored only 4 goals. He didn't get as much of a look in as he should have done. His talent deserved as a striker. But Italy now in fine fettle, and even with 1 game of the groups to go, as we're going to see Enrico Chiesa now replace, I think number 10, is it? Yes, it's going to be Insigne. So Chiesa will come on, and I think we're also going to see another change as well. We'll just bring that as well. There's the substitution there. That's Lorenzo Insigne, and we're going to see Tonali, the number 25, come on as well. So a double change for Bobby Mancini, and he's very pleased with Insigne's work rate and effort tonight. He's really done well. And Enrico, the son of, in fact, it's Federico, and the son of Enrico comes on, and we're going to see Berardi off as well. And I'm just trying to think. Torioli is on as well, so he wears number 25. And Russ, really now, when the dust settles on this, if should Italy win this game, I think the right team are definitely winning this game, and they'll be sending a message out to everyone around Europe now and thinking to them now. All the teams will be thinking, we don't want to play these Italians in the next round because they will murder us.
Absolutely, JB. They've been absolutely fantastic today. Have Italy. They've deserved this 2-goal lead as we approach the final 20 minutes of the game, and we're into that now. And they've played fantastically well today.
Offside against Switzerland. Free kick to Italy. Granovic offside as you was back. Carry on, Russ. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it's JB, and he would actually deserve to be leading. And if they had, and say if it was 3 or 4-0 by now, Italy, you couldn't really complain. Italy have been that superb. Could have had 3, 4, maybe even 5 goals by now, Italy. And if they had no one, not even anyone in the stadium, would be complaining about. And I can and everyone's going to be absolutely fantastic with this one today.
Yeah, and if only, well, they call themselves the A team in Switzerland, but unfortunately they haven't got George Peppard or Mr. T to call upon to get them out of trouble here, because they are sinking. They say they're the A team, but they're looking as if they're the C or the D team right now, or a pub team for that matter. There's another chance here for number 3 as the substitute. I think the substitute came in there, was it? No, it wasn't. It was. No. Anyway, the shot was blocked anyway, and it was Mobley, sorry. And now a chance at the other end now. And here is the substitute. And the ball played in there, and a chance here on the far side. And still a chance inside the area, deflected away. And offside is given. And free kick there. I'm just being put off by somebody trying to annoy me at the moment. And sorry, I apologise for that. Well, I should have my phone on silent, really. So apologies there. I got an unwanted intruder on my mobile phone, which I could have done without. Anyway, nothing came. You're not missing anything at the moment. Italy 2, Switzerland 0 at the moment, and it's looking very onerous. In fact, it was number 14, Zuba, who made the break again. And here's a chance now for number 3. Oh, just wide. Just wide, in fact. And that would have settled it for sure. It was a Mobley who got free and just screwed the shot wide, Russ, and he was onside as well.
Yes, should have been 3-0 there for Italy. Mobley firing just wide, and so unlucky he were there, and really should be 3-0 to Italy right now, JB.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone would argue with that. That is for sure. Anyway, back we are with the action, and we're now just 17 minutes plus injury time away, and Italy now, if they can just keep that clean sheet, it would be their 10th on the bounce and 10 wins on the bounce. If they were to make that, if they were to make it this evening, and they look as if they're going so, and of course, Russ is going to now, the next sort of 10, 15 minutes, start seriously thinking about the man of the match now. Locatelli's certainly got to be up there. You've got to give mentions to Spinazzola. Certainly this is, I mean, it's going to be a tough job for you to choose a man of the match now in the next 15 minutes. That's why I'm giving you the ample time to decide.
Thank you, JB. And yes, like I say, it's going to be an odd choice for man of the match. Locatelli, the goal scorer, could be a choice. Spinazzola could be another choice as well. Immobile too. So I've got 3 players there who are all in my mind to be man of the match. I know I've chosen towards the end of the match in JB.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll be asking around about the 88th minute mark for your final choice, and we'll be obviously asking the question as to why. But that's all about 14 minutes down the line. We've still got a football match still to be played. We've got we've still got a good quarter of an hour, or just over that to go now. Can Switzerland force an unlikely comeback and get themselves into this game, or back into this game? But at the moment, the Italians look so solid and so composed in defence. And here they come again, and they're charging forward, and the flag is staying down. The shot comes in, and it's wide again. It's wide again from Immobile. Great break again from Italy. The ball went towards the left-hand channel. It was a terrific run there. I think it was Chiesa who led the line. The ball went towards the far side, and the shot, the left-footed shot from Immobile, narrowly past the right-hand post. As Chiesa now comes off, and Ruben Vargas comes on.
Yes, should be 3-0 again. Italy carving open Switzerland once again, JB, and really should be 3-0 by now, and Italy should be well out of sight. Should be at least 5 or 6 by now, JB. But poor finishing is only the reason why they're not.
Yeah, and that keeps obviously Switzerland's very much in with a shout in the group to qualify as one of the best third place sides in the competition. Less than a quarter of an hour left to play now. Live on the Commentary Hub and on JB Sports, of course, where you can get a feed of the game. And of course, we're live on several other YouTube platforms, including Russ's and Mike's and several other channels. Twitter, of course, and of course, the Periscope channel as well, and Twitch as well. Several different social media platforms. And the good thing about it is it's live and it's free of charge to everybody to listen. As the ball is played in there, we don't charge subscriptions like certain satellite broadcasters. Anyway, back to the game, and here comes Di Lorenzo, who's had a really good game. I'm going to sort of praise him a little bit because he's had a super match and he's played terrifically well, and he's looked every inch a very good right back, certainly for Italy. And only his 8th game, he's looked very, very composed, and I think he's taken to international football like water off a duck's back. What about Di Lorenzo? As I say, 8 caps now, and he's settled into life in international football so in a sort of relaxed style. And Russ is not with me at the moment, but well, certainly we get his opinions in a moment or two. But at the moment, I think he might be just still thinking about his Man of the Match award, but he's got to give. Anyway, back to the game, and we'll get Russ back in a second or two. And there's a chance here on the edge of the area. Oh, well rounded out again. The Italians, so superb in the defence. They look such a well-oiled machine. And here they come again, but surely that must be mopped up. And here's by the goalkeeper, Jan Sommer. And Barella's gone down injured as well. This is another problem now for the Italians, Russ. We've got Barella down on the floor. The referee's got to have eyes in the back of his head. He's now digging into his pocket. He's digging into his pocket. Now, who's he want here? Who's he going to give the yellow card to here? I wonder. We'll get Russ's views in a second. And I'm sure he was aware with somebody, I think. I'm not sure who the yellow card is being brandished to, but Barella is needing some treatment. It's Embolo who's been shown the yellow card. Now, obviously, I didn't see what happened originally. My eyes were on the ball. I wonder if Russ is still there with us. Russ,
I'm still here, JB. As he's played the ball there, Barella, Embolo, took him out, clearly kicks in.
Took him. Yeah, it's a clear yellow card.
Takes his other leg as well, and clear booking there for Real Mboma, and that's a clear booking, and he is apologised there to Barella, who will have to go off and receive further treatment, it looks like, and may have to come off here and be to see what Switzerland do for the remaining moments in this match, should I say, which is 11 plus stoppage.
11 minutes plus stoppage time, as Russ says to go. 79 gone, and well, he's up on his feet, I'm pleased to say, and he's limping, and he's rinsing a little bit in pain, but the old magic sponge and the old spray will certainly will see him right as rain, I'm sure. I don't think it's too serious, and it was a challenge really born out of utter frustration really from Embolo's point of view. He's not had the best of games, hasn't been able to add to his goal tally for which he got against Wales, but well, it's Locatelli's night for sure. He had a superb match against the Turks on Friday. Now he's probably bettered it here in Rome again tonight. And of course, they play Wales early next week in the final round of group matches, which of course will be played simultaneously. And be interesting to see how that game pans out. And it will be Italy against Wales for what will be the leadership of the group. It will be the gap between the two sides. If it was to stay this way for Italy, would be 2 points between them. And 12 attempts overall for Italy to Switzerland's 5. Just shows how domineering the Italians, statistically, Russ, have really been this evening. They've just been far, far too good for their visitors.
They have, JB, and they've deserved this lead, like I've been saying all now. They deserve this lead. And if it was 3, 4, 5, I could even go on to say 6 or 7, no one could really complain. And that's clearly offside. You don't need VAR lines like you do in the Premier League. Like we're clearly offside. See there, and they can get straight back on with it without a stoppage for VAR.
Yeah, apart from that one wicket earlier on, I think VAR in the main has actually been quite decent. Might just teach the people at Stockley Park, who, of course, do the VAR for the FA Cup and the League Cup and certain League Cup games, and of course the Premier League. There are people talking about VAR being introduced into the Championship a long time soon. I don't think that should be even contemplated, because you look at the amount of money on offer to teams that could go up something like £140 million to teams that go up. I mean, that's going to mean a lot to teams like Brentford and Norwich and Watford, who have just come up from the Championship at the end of it all. I think VAR should stay out, certainly of the Championship, until it's had a couple more seasons in the Premier League to really iron out the snags. But yeah, we haven't. I mean, apart from that one little mistake tonight, I have to say VAR in the tournament thus far has done what it should have done in the Premier League for the last 3 years. Sorted out the decisions and make them obvious decisions, not like the Premier League do, not like the people at Stockley Park do in the Premier League. As Switzerland come charging forward now, looking to try and get themselves a goal back. But it's looking a lost cause now, Russ, with 8 minutes to go. Time really isn't their friend at the moment, is it?
No, it's not, JB. Time's not Switzerland's friend. If Switzerland are to get anything out of this, they need to score now and fast. But they're not going to do that with a ball in the box like that, which was too easy for Gianluigi Donnarumma there.
Yeah, it was a poor ball. And Donnarumma doing what Jan Sommer didn't do in the first half, and that was take the ball, and he took it at a very low height as well, about a foot off the floor, and that was good safe handling there. Doing everything that Jan Sommer didn't, deciding to punch under no pressure and all that jazz. And here's another chance now. Oh, there's a chance now for Lee. Oh, that's a brilliant save by Jan Sommer to deny a Mobley the third goal. But I think, I might be wrong, but I think he's pushed his man here. And yes, he has pushed his man. He's pushed the defender there. That was Iachini before he had the shot. And the referee was quite right in that opinion, in that respect, Russ, to give the free kick as Froya comes off and Dribiel So comes on.
Yes, he was right to give the free kick and pulled him back, and that's what made him get through. If he had pulled him back, the defender would have got to clear that and tidy it up well. But he forced the save, and it was a fantastic save because he didn't know the free kick was going to come.
Yeah, sign of a good goalkeeper, that. And I know we've criticised him a little bit in the first half for his indecision whether to punch or whether to catch, but he certainly made his mind up where he was going to go and kept his eye on the ball. Jan Sommer, it was a great save, but it counted for nothing in the end because the free kick had already been given by the Russian referee, the referee, I should say. Michael Ober doing a sterling job, in fact, down on that touchline on the near side and doing a terrific job at the moment. 6 minutes left on the commentary hub and on JB Sports and on Russ's and Mike's YouTube channels. And of course, we're live on Periscope and we're live on Twitter and Twitch as well. 2-0 to Italy. Here comes Switzerland pumping the ball into the penalty area from the far side. They get a second goal here with Widman. And again, turned into traffic. And now Italy now trying to turn away. And that's surely a foul there by Verdi, and surely he's got to be booked. Foul on Federico Chiesa, and a free kick to Italy, which will suit them down to the ground. Silly challenge again, and the Swiss now getting really frustrated. Cristiante and Pessina about to come on, and another player down on the floor there. I think it's Krampus. I think it's Locatelli who's on his haunches, but he's had a great game as we see the 2 goals he scored again.
Yes, he has had a good game, and the second goal for me is a pick of the bunch where he used the 2 defenders that was in front of him to drill it back across goal like you're taught to do when you're a keeper, to put it in the back of the net. And fantastic performance from him. And his evening is over now. Good performance from him tonight.
Absolutely. He's certainly up there in Russ's thoughts for man of the match, which is 3 minutes away. He's got 3 minutes left to decide, and he's getting a magnificent ovation by the crowd here at the Olympic Stadium in Rome. A superb player, and the Sassuolo man deserves every applause in the world. And even my co-commentator is even giving him a round of applause. I can hear there, and why not? Pessina is the man who replaces him for the remaining 4 minutes. And of course, number 18 is Nicola Pereira. He's off as well. And Brian Cristiani is now on for him. And, well, you can see how much togetherness the Italians are at the moment. 4 minutes just to put left to go. And Italy now are in cruise control. They've got to be on 6 points now, unless the Swiss pull off the comeback, the mother and father of all comebacks, Russ. And
Yes,
I can't see it happening. Free kick to well given.
Yes, free kick fell on Sylvain Wigmer there to for Switzerland, and very poor decision play from Federico Chiesa there.
Yeah, not something his dad would have approved of. Enrico, brilliant player. Several caps for Italy, of course. Following in his dad's footsteps, of course. He played in the 98 World Cup, Enrico Chiesa. Got to the quarterfinals. But lost on penalties to the eventual winners, the hosts France, who kicked off with a superb win over the Germans last night. And Germany now are up against it now in that group with Portugal winning, and they look on the unsung at the moment, Russ. You feel for the Germans and Joachim Low. I think he's lost his spark in the last 2 or 3 tournaments, hasn't he?
Yes, and you'd have thought Germany would have wanted to go out and let him go out on an iron by winning this tournament, but it doesn't look like that's the case. She's going to be leaving at the end of this tournament.
Yeah, well, they've got a good replacement in Hansi Flick, of course, who's dominated for the last 18 months with Bayern Munich, winning the European Cup and, of course, the Bundesliga in the Cup twice in a row under his stewardship. And he's certainly the next best thing in German football, that's for sure. There was also talk that Jurgen Klopp was going to replace Joachim Low, but that turned out to be false news as the Italians come forward again and another one. Now puts the seal on it, and Mobley gets his goal. And that was even better than the second goal scored by Locatelli. He hit it from something like 30 yards out, right-footed. It's actually gone through Jan Sommer's gloves. He'll be annoyed with himself for that. And it's nestled fantastically for the Italians anyway into the left-hand corner of the net. And that now, Russ, without any doubt at all, is game, set, and match to Italy. 3-0. 2 minutes
it is, JB. Game, set, and match. Jan Sommer got hands, fingertips to the ball, as we see from behind the goal here. Fingertips onto the ball, and I think he pushed it into the goal. And that he deserves his goal. Immobile has played well today, but Italy 3-0 up and deserve the win. Could have been at least 4, 5, 6, or even 7 tonight.
Well, Russ, I'm now going to give you the opportunity now. The game's wrapped up now. Let's go straight to man of the match. We're in the last minute of the game. I need your views now for man of the match. You're going to make a decision pronto.
Yes, my man of the match has already been decided. I decided it in the 84th minute, JB, and that's Manuel Locatelli. I'll explain why in a moment. I can explain now because it's
the boys with Donnarumma and no danger for the Italians now. Explain the reasons why, Russ.
He played fantastically well today in the midfield. He's controlled that midfield today. And yes, I know he's gone off, but controlled the midfield well. Second one for me is pick of his brace that he's got tonight. Could have had more. And his overall gameplay has been impressive and he deserved. And for me, that's why he's been given man of the match, sponsored by our brilliant sponsors, the commentary services.
Yes, a very good, very well-deserved man of the match, as Russ says. Sponsored by Commentary Services, the company, of course, set up by our good friend and colleague, Barry Swain, for so many years and helps inspiring commentators around the country to have a go at being a football commentator for the day. I've been lucky to go to a few of the workshops over the years, and it's a very good thing as well. Right, we're into stoppage time, for which we've got 3 minutes, and they still could finish with another one here, Italy. They're not stopping at 3 by the looks of it. But at the moment, it's a flawless performance. Certainly 3-0 on Friday, 3-0 tonight here on the Wednesday. And, well, I think a very worthy man in the match, Locatelli. I don't think we could have got any more. Locatelli, I should say. It's been a faultless performance from Italy. They certainly look the goods now. I mean, there was probably temptation to put Mario Balotelli back in the side. Of course, with Mancini's close links, but he's resisted all that temptation. And you look at that side, they don't have an out-and-out star, Italy, but what they do have massively is a big team effort. And you can see it from the substitutes bench to the manager to the players out on the field. Every single one are in it and are buying into what they're doing here tactically and how they play the game. And they're playing the game superbly. But here comes an opportunity now for the cross to come in from Zuba, and he gets another opportunity now. Can Zuba try and break the Italian sequence of clean sheets at least? They can't lose the game. They might have a chance here. Donnarumma was claiming he was impeded. The referee's playing on here. And in fact, the shot comes in the end, and so hits the shot right-footed and way over the top. So Immobile gets his second goal of the tournament to add to one he got in the opening game against the Turks, and it was an absolute beaut. But I think you've got to put that should have been saved by Jan Sommer without any shadow of a doubt. That's poor goalkeeping for me, Russ. That's poor.
It is a poor goalkeeping, JB, and he really should have saved that Jan Sommer. Very, very poor tonight from him in goal tonight.
And I've just seen a replay of a Switzerland fan kissing a male Switzerland fan kissing a female Italian fan. Now, isn't that lovely to see? Even though Italy are murdering Switzerland, isn't it good to see that? I think they might be getting married. I think they might be in a relationship or married. I don't know what you think, Russ, but love at first sight. As the cross comes in, it comes to Mbolo, and well challenged there. What do you reckon? Love at first sight?
Could be, JB, yes. And I think there could be falling out after this one.
No, that's it, isn't it? Well, there's one or two Swiss fans crying into their flags as the final whistle is sounded by the referee, Sergei Karasev. A terrific performance, really, from start to finish from the Italians. The Swiss really didn't show much else, apart from one effort from Zuba that was well saved at the near post by Gianluigi Donnarumma. Goals either side of half-time from Locatelli. The second, an absolute stunner. And then to put the icing on the cherry on the cake, Ciro Immobile with his 15th goal for his country, making it 3-0. That's his second goal of the tournament and joins Locatelli at the top of the goal-scoring charts. Final words before we wrap up from Russ Vernon. What do you reckon, RV? A very good performance tonight?
Yes, very good performance from Italy tonight. JB, fantastic performance and a fully deserved 3-0 victory. Could have had 4, could have had 5, could have had even had 6 or 7, maybe even 8 or 9. They were just that good tonight, Italy. And they were just totally dominant, and Switzerland didn't have a chance.
Yeah, and where does Switzerland go from here now? Because they've got, obviously, final. This is probably one of the final questions before we wrap up and tell you what we've got coming up tomorrow, of course. We'll have on the thing. But where does Switzerland go from there? I mean, the Turkey game now has got to be a must-winner now, surely. I mean, you worry for them now.
Yes, I'm worried for them now. It's a must-win for them in Baku against Turkey for Switzerland now. And I feel if they don't win this, if they don't win that, they're definitely going home. And because they do, for me, tonight, and for large parts of the game against Wales, Switzerland have been poor. And if we don't get their act together, they'll be going home on Sunday, come 7 o'clock UK time. And hopefully that should be a good game for us to watch.
Yeah, and of course there's Wales against Italy on the same night as well. Thank you very much indeed, Russ. It's been a pleasure to have your company as always. So thank you very much to Russ for his
No, it's JB. Pleasure to be
contribution.
alongside you, as always.
Absolutely, absolutely. And before we leave you in just a second or two, let's have a look at some of the games that we're going to be bringing you over the next 2 days here on the Commentary Hub and JB Sports, and several other platforms coming up as well. I'll just get the fixtures in front of me before we do. There we are, fixtures and results. I am now on the official UEFA 2020 website, and we'll check those fixtures for you. Of course, we'll bring you all the commentary teams on the Twitter feed and everything else that comes with it. But some great games coming up for you in the next couple of days here on these stations as well. Tomorrow we've got Ukraine against North Macedonia. That comes up at 2 o'clock British time tomorrow afternoon from Bucharest, and then at 5 o'clock Denmark, minus of course the sadly stricken Christian Eriksen, who's I'm pleased to report is recovering in hospital. They take on Belgium in Copenhagen. That's at 5 o'clock. And then at the Johan Cruyff Arena in Amsterdam, the Dutch take on the Austrians in a bit of a derby match. That's at 8 o'clock. And all those matches will be live on the Commentary Hub, on JB Sports, and on Periscope, and on Twitter, and everything else. And of course, then on Friday, we've got three more games. Sweden and Slovakia from St. Petersburg at 2 o'clock. Croatia against the Czech Republic at 5 o'clock. And then the big one with me in the presenter's chair. Mike Arneman will be your match commentator, alternative match commentator, alongside former Arsenal and Middlesbrough man Justin Hoyt. England against Scotland. The big one at our programme will start at 7:45 with a bit of a build-up as well. But from Russ and myself here in Rome tonight, it's been a superb night for Italians. They will be drinking their wine and eating their pizzas in absolute sheer delight. Every Italian in Rome tonight will be absolutely delighted. As for the Swiss, they have to get a result now in Baku on Sunday, otherwise it's going for them. From Russ and myself here on the Commentary Hub, good night to you all. Good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night.